Not gonna lie, I definitely just fucked up. So I just had a call with a guy who I was actually like pretty close friends with. Well, I won't say pretty close, but we've had like a few like pretty close conversations, and we like help each other a lot. And I helped him a lot, like with understanding his mental health and like some of like the blocks and trauma that he's facing. And I kind of just like wanted to check up on him today, so I hit him up. And the conversation was great, and I know that like what we talked about in terms of like what was going on with him helped him out a lot, but we eventually shifted. And it's interesting because I asked him if he was ready to have this conversation, and I don't know if he wasn't or if I'm just still being a dick, but this video is titled Love Your Enemy, and it's because the one supreme law is love the Lord your God with all your heart. Love your fellow man like you love yourself. Love your neighbor like you love yourself. And love your enemy. Because you're not only supposed to love your God, you're not only supposed to love your neighbor, the people who are around you, just everybody else. You're also supposed to love the people you don't like, the people you don't agree with, the people you oppose with. You're supposed to love them too. Thing is, I just had an ego consciousness moment. I just had a moment where I shifted out of love consciousness into ego consciousness, out of love and into judgment. Because me and this guy, we started talking about Christianity. And I don't know, something that had like got mentioned about where he said he doesn't believe that, like, he says that, I don't remember, but he like mentioned like gay people or something, and I was like, well, like being gay isn't a sin, like that's not in the Bible, right? And he was like, oh well, like I believe that Adam and Eve, like that's what's in the Bible, it should be man and woman, like that's how it should be. So I was like, so you don't think everybody deserves to love who they want to love? Like, so, and but that was me reacting and becoming judgmental, because honestly, even though I'm an ally, like I'm not gay, or I'm not like trans, I'm not a part of the LGBT community. I am an ally, and I am an avid believer that we all deserve to love who we love. Like, I was made to love a woman, and that's how I work. And so if you're like that, that's awesome. But if you were made to love a man, and that's how you work, that's awesome. But if you were made to love a man and you're a man, and that's how you work, it's awesome. It's like, bro, there's so many like people like the hypocrisy of Christianity is that people accept Jesus as their Lord, but they don't do what Jesus did. They don't love like Jesus. They don't act non-judgmentally like Jesus. They don't forgive their killers as they're dying on the cross like Jesus. Jesus said, forgive your enemy 70 times over. Like, fuck. why don't you have that same expectation of yourself? Like, this is why I don't resonate with Christianity. People want to say all these words and say and say and say and say. What the fuck are you doing? What is in here? What is in here that is reflecting out here? If judgment is in your heart, it doesn't matter what the fuck you say. But I just had that conversation like ended like super heated. Like, he was like, yo, like, we can end this conversation right now, bro. Like, I'm like, you gotta respect people's religion. And I was like, you're right, bro. Like, I shouldn't have said, and I'm not gonna lie, like, he started like getting like going back and forth with me like even more, and I started to get more heated, and I called him transphobic, and I fucked up there. Like, I super fucked up there. I should not have said that. And like after like 30 seconds, I was like, that was out of line. Like, I should not have said that. And he ended the conversation. He hung up on me, and I was like, fair enough, honestly. And immediately, like 20-30 seconds after, I'm like, you just judged Jaden. You just judged him for what he believes. You just judge your enemy. You just judge your neighbor. You didn't show love or compassion or empathy. or meet them where they were. And you did try after you chose judgment, which is, you know, okay, I guess, but I wanted to take this moment to reflect. You know, I like literally like I was like, nah, dude, this is unacceptable. So like I immediately sent him an apology. I was like, yo, that was out of line, bro. Super disrespected you. Shouldn't have said that. I'm really like I apologize. You know, like I hope we can still be boys, like moving forward, you know what I mean? But I definitely see that like the things we do out of judgment, really can, that's crazy, man. The things we do out of judgment or out of negative emotions, like those fast impulsive decisions we make, those things are really the catalyst for something that can just end something, like the catalyst for destruction. It's easy to build, it's hard to break, right? Yeah. Love the Lord your God. Love your neighbor like you love yourself. Love your enemy. Do it today, be better for it tomorrow. Catch you on next vid. Not to end on a depressing note, he just hit me back and we're good. He was like, you're right. I mean, he's like, he wanted to push that I respect his belief and that everyone has their own beliefs. And, you know, that's fair. You know, everyone has their own temperament. Everyone has what works best for them. I'm not here to judge. I'm really not, because I don't like being judged, so I don't want to judge others. You know, and I'm glad that I caught myself in that moment of judgment and I was immediately able to like hone that and like almost work that kink out of myself, right? I feel like in another moment that happens, like something I may get heated like that, I'm going to choose love. I'm going to choose stillness. I'm going to choose calmness instead of anger or judgment. For sure, man. And he said we can still be cool. He said if we're not, he said if these moments are what like break our relationships, then we weren't real friends, right? And I was like, it's facts. So not depressing though. Yay. Thumbs up.